Hello, my wonderful and amazing sign of Capricorn. This is going to be your reading for whenever you stumble upon this video, whenever this video finds you. Time is non-significant during these. I do readings for whenever I feel it is going to resonate the most with you. Okay, when I feel times are changed and times are changing is when I do these videos. So I hope you guys enjoy it, but let's just go ahead and get started for my sign of Capricorn. Alright. So during this time for you guys, it does feel like there's going to be some frustrations that pop up in your life. I feel like the people who you are around that are involving your situation, they could be involving your situation or they could not. They could just be people in your day-to-day life. Your day-to-day routines, your workplace, etc., so forth. I try not to give too many examples because I said before in the other videos and to the other signs, I like you to paint your own picture with your own story. So, but it feels like people are going to be a frustration for you. They're just going to get you tangled up in scenarios you don't want to be involved with. I feel like other people are going to be making your own situation harder. Your day-to-day life and routines, I feel like people are going to step in and come in with their own problems, which is just going to be even more frustrating for you guys. So that plays a heavy part on your mind during this time. Also, when I say this time, it does resonate whenever you watch this. Usually my readings go anywhere between a month and 2 months, so it just depends. But anyways, so I just feel like there is some people floating around in your area that are going to try to involve you in their own life decisions or make their problems become your problems. And after a while, it's going to get frustrating. You know, the people that you do care about as well, the thing I keep seeing for you guys, and it's popping up as a love situation, is that someone's just trying to make things more difficult, and that's why they're acting the way that they are. I don't know if they're intentionally doing it, but I feel like for a majority of you guys, somebody you're involved with is like intentionally just trying to mess with you, but it's almost not, and I know it sounds weird, but it's almost not in a harsh way. Like they're not intending it to be like cold and cruel, but they're intending it to be more so funny. And I think that is going to be really aggravating for you because this person almost is giving you a runaround, or they're not being serious during this time, and I feel like it's aggravating. So let's go on. You and yourself, whatever's going on just with you personally, I feel like you're going to have a bright new future ahead of you. You're looking forward to something, no matter what that is. So you're waiting on, either some of you guys just got some good news or you're waiting to hear some good news. This could be like expected news or unexpected news, but you feel like it's coming. Okay, you've been trying to make your life and situations more creative, more positive. You're trying to, I almost want to hear, walk into a new direction. That doesn't mean your entire life has to change. You just want to see new things. You want to be a part of a new journey. So it is like you guys are almost trying to start a new chapter, but it's not in that serious of a way. If that makes sense, you just want to attract new situations into your life. So you yourself are very positive and very free-flowing. You guys are going to be more receptive, even if those people in your life are aggravating, trying to get you stuck in situations. You have a really good mindset about you where it's like you're not even worried about it. Like at times it gets really annoying, but I feel like whatever's going on, you're not even worried about it. You're just kind of letting it go. You know, you're taking one day at a time. You know, one foot in front of the other, like, so whatever's going on with the good news or something like that, something's coming in and it's exciting you, whether it's an idea you made up by yourself, but I almost feel like this is just your own personality, your own vibe. Like, you're ready to take things to another level. You're ready to start off fresh. You don't care what's going on. You don't care what's been going on in the past. And if you still do, it's going to change where you're not feeling that way so strongly. You're being protected right now by other sources that are, you know, whatever situations are going on, they're not even in your own control, and I think you know that. That's why when it comes to other people, when it comes to romance or etc., just with your own life story, whatever is happening with you right now, it's just saying, like, give it a minute, because things will unravel themselves. It doesn't mean that you have to step into these other areas. You don't have to step into other people's life and try to fix their problems, because that's what's going to be popping up. People want to drag you in, and you're like, you know what? You're like, I'm not even worried about it right now. I am going to just focus on other things that are going to push me forward. Like, you know, if I can get past this, you can get past this. Get what I'm saying? So, I think a lot of times, just even towards the end of June, you know, early July, whatever, be careful with the feeling of being ungrateful. I don't know if that's somebody in your midst who is just being very needy right now, and that could be you or it could be somebody else, but somebody within your own life is feeling very ungrateful, and that's not a good thing to take on. That is not a good personality to take with you. Because I like how you're acting right now. I like the way that you're seeing life. I like the way you're exposing, you know, yourself, and you're just not really giving a shit. You're not holding on too tightly with whatever else negative is going on. But I do feel like there could just be some times where you are a little bit more aggravated, a little bit more pushy with your situation, because you're like, you want to see things from a different angle, and you're tired of hearing the same story over and over and over again, maybe the same excuses from people. It's like reoccurring situations, and you're like, come on, like, I just want to see something else. Like, I'm sick of hearing about the same thing happening over and over. You know, it's Capricorn's like, oh, it's bumming me out. You could have somebody or something happening in your life right now that's just bumming you out. You're sick about hearing. You know, you're sick of hearing of it. It's the same situation over and over again. And it almost looks like there's so many conversations that are trying to be started with you, Capricorn, and you're ignoring them, which I believe is a really good thing, because it's bouncing off of this persona, not persona, but this energy you're taking on, to where you're not giving a shit. You know, you're not putting all your energy into other people's situations, into other people's drama. Like I said before, you guys are sick of hearing the same thing, or doing the same thing, or experiencing the same outcome over and over and over again. So you're almost like ignoring other people's advice. You're ignoring the phone calls. You're ignoring the text messages. You know, even she's like looking in the mirror, you know, and so it's just, again, a reminder of like, okay, well, what does Capricorn want to do? Because whatever these things are that don't involve you, you realize, like, I don't need to be involved, so I'm just going to ignore it. And honestly, I think that's a really good thing that you're doing. Because in that time that you have to yourself, or in that time that you're wanting to experience new things, you know, during those time periods where you're laying down in bed, you're going for walks, whatever you're doing where it's just you, and it could be with other people, but there's just going to be some really good talks and communications happening right now, only like with yourself. Does that make sense? Like, you're having your own bright, wide-eyed conversations, but it's like with yourself, with your own mind. So those times where you're able to spend alone, you know, you're able to spend it within your own company, let's say, there's new ideas, and one of these ideas are really going to stick out to you, because like, you're wanting to see things change. You're sick of the same story. You're sick of doing the same things or hearing about other people's problems. You know, some of you guys just might be really straight up with people, and I feel like that's a a good advice that you have to take, especially if situations have been going on and on and on, and they're very annoying, and you don't want to hear it. You don't want to have to deal with it. This situation, this person, you don't want to have to deal with them or it anymore. So you're going to say what you need to say eventually during this point. Just, watch your tongue, especially if some of you guys like to drink a little bit on occasion, because when it comes to other people, you're going to be having very sharp conversations. And I keep picking up this really strong love sense for you. So I feel like if there's a romantic situation going on in your life and it's just been the same story, the same roundabout over and over, or even a job sense, whatever, only you know what it is, but you're going to speak what you have to say. And I feel like you're going to have some humor in the situation too. Like, you're going to be very sharp-tongued, like, all right, dude, enough is enough. And I'm like over it, if you're not going to change, or if I don't see anything that's different, like, I'm going to ignore you, or I'm just going to avoid the situation altogether. And I really think that's a good behavior. I know I keep saying that, but I really think just in your case, it's going to be a good behavior, a good way to take action during this time. So I like it. But there is, at some point, going to be a very strong conversation that takes place. And I do say strong. It's going to cut to the bottom of things, and it's going to hurt. I don't know if you are going to say, I feel like it's more you're going to finally say something to just say something that's really important, that gets down to the nitty-gritty. And maybe that, like, cuts like a knife. Someone wasn't expecting to hear that from you. And that's endless possibilities of what that can be for you. But, yeah. So a really important conversation is going to be taking place, because things are going to get frustrating because you're hearing the same story over and over again. And you shouldn't be. In your own mind, it's like, no, things should have already changed by now, and they haven't, or they aren't, and I'm ready for new things. Like, I'm about to just move on from this situation. I'm about to just ignore all the communication that's coming to me. I'm sick of it. I'm going to ignore it. I'm going to try to get away from it. And, if it keeps proceeding, if it keeps going on, that's when it's like you are going to snap. You're going to, make your own final decision, and it's going to come through as a very important conversation. Pardon me. So another thing too, I do feel like, when I was saying before, being alone with you guys and in your own thoughts is where this brilliant idea is going to take place, and you're only going to know what that idea is, like, once it happens, because for many of you guys it's going to be different. So let's just keep going on. Here it is again. The person coming through, or the situation, whatever, it could be a job, etc., etc. Painting your own picture. Something comes through, and it's almost like they're telling me again. Something comes through again where you find out someone was bullshitting you, someone was talking about you. It's just really all drama, and I think you already know that it is. And it's good because you're sick of it. And even when you turn your back on it, or you call somebody out, or you make it very apparent, or you make it very well known that you know exactly what's going on, you know what's been being done, and you're like, I don't really give a shit anymore. You have this conversation. It's almost like still people or something is going to try to come around and bring you down again, or it's just that something keeps coming around you. Something or someone keeps trying to enter in your life, and you know that they're, like, whatever it is all bad news, because you've dealt with it before. Okay? And here it is. Here's that. So I think whatever this situation is kind of deceiving, this thing that wants to keep popping up in your life, the thing that's just very manipulating, the drama situation, the situation you don't want to be a part of. There's gonna be, or the person who's just a liar, a manipulator, that kind of thing, whatever it is. There's gonna be, again, it's going back to that conversation. Now, this could actually be an action that somebody does out of pity, all right? But I feel either way it's going to end up in bad news. I don't feel like it's going to affect you directly. You are going to feel the consequences of it. So hopefully it's not you that's been, trying to invade in people's life, to try to make other like your problems, other people's problems. Don't let that be you, because someone is going to cut you down to size. I hope this isn't you being very desperate because you're bored and things aren't changing, that you say something to somebody. Be careful with that, because somebody is going to just agree with you during the time being, and then you come to find that was actually a lie, that like maybe they made a promise, or maybe they said they were going to do something, or something was going to happen, and that was a lie. And this can go either way. So that's kind of where that bad news is coming from. So I just feel like during this time, it would be better to just completely ignore all things involved with that situation, because it's only going to lead in an uncomfortable or aggravating conversation, or someone's going to do something very stupid to get themselves noticed, and it just has a negative effect, okay? So just make sure that's not you doing really weird things. Don't do anything impulsive. Don't go up to someone and be like, oh my God, I love you, because you want the situation to change so quickly, because it's gonna, backfire in your face. Or if you're involved in something else or with somebody else and this is their behavior, and they're just kind of like a piece of shit, they're a liar, and they're compulsive, and they want everything, and they expect it from you. So it's like, if that's you ignoring the situation, that's very good, because eventually, no matter what's gonna happen, either you or somebody else is gonna say what they need to say, and it's like the shit keeps going. Someone keeps making excuses, even though they already said what exactly is going on. It's just still gonna lead in bad news. So don't be too shocked or surprised when you find out, the situation or whatever is negative. Don't be too surprised about anything if you hear bad news, all right, or confrontation of some sort. So I feel like in the nitty-gritty, after everything's said and done, you get your way. Whatever choices that you've made during this whole time, even if there was bad news that got popped up, even if you were dealing with situations that were, aggravating, or they didn't lead up to everything you expected them to be, if you followed through and just ignored it the way you were supposed to, then you're gonna have new beginnings, all right? So you just have to ignore whatever negative is going on. So if you did that, you're going to be very satisfied that you did. Even if you are the ones who were acting very mischievous, very jealous, very, I almost want to say very bland, like Gordon Ramsay, right? But, like you were just in a situation where you're almost like felt like you were in a rut, and it was just a continuance of something, right? There was just a continuous in your own personal life, and you wanted to see like something changed, so you did something really random and really unexpected that you shouldn't have done. I feel like, yeah, it's gonna lead to bad news, like you're not gonna get the outcome you wanted, but in the long term, you're gonna be grateful that you did that, because something new that matches more up with you is going to come through. Do you get what I'm saying? So let's pull one more card. And really all it's telling you is just, Capricorn, kind of have patience with this situation, because the more you involve yourself with it, the more aggravating, the more frustrating it's going to get. So say what you got to say. Don't be too impulsive. This just says wait until you're called on. Wait until it absolutely needs your attention. Because if you act impulsively, it's going to lead into bad news. Someone's going to react really negative to you. or this can be something else that's pushing your buttons. Don't let it push your buttons. Just wait it out, because everything always changes in the right time when it needs to change. You still have this beautiful Fool card here, which doesn't mean you're a fool. It just means you're going into something new eventually that you're not used to, and I feel like that's what this is. So good or bad, however you respond to this situation, it's going to lead to more positive results, but it's just going to take longer. So if you reacted by not reacting, you're going to see good things happen right away. You're going to be happy you did that. It's going to be satisfying. But if you reacted right away and things kind of spit in your face and things turned out a little funky, it's like, well, don't worry, because that's going to clear up, and something that more matches you is going to come through, and you're going to be like, okay, I know that was really stupid what I did, but I'm happy I did that, because I wouldn't be, involved in this new thing, right? So let's go ahead and end this all with your oracle card. This is supposed to tie your readings together, but let's just see what it is. So it's summon. You're trying to attract something into your life. You're trying to make things possible. You're trying to find out how your situation is going to work. You're trying to manifest something, right? And it says just keep thinking about it, because that's this. That's that new beginning. Keep thinking about it. Maybe don't tell anybody about it, but keep thinking about it. Wait, because you're going to slowly, if you haven't, you're not going to see the results right now, but maybe, in July, that's when you're going to start to see things blossom and manifest, because you did take that time. You didn't respond to the situation, so it cleared it up to make it feel like it was brand new, and that's when things are going to become more positive for you. So Capricorn, that was your reading during this time. These readings are always meant to just find you, so I always timestamp these. Like right now it would be June to July 2018, but really this is for whenever you watch it, and it's it's gonna pop up the time that you need it. So I hope that made sense, Capricorn, and I will see you guys soon. Hello, my